Alright, so I don't know who needs to hear this, but there is no such thing as bad foods, just bad habits. Alright, so let me put this over here for a second. Alright, so yeah, no such thing as bad foods, just bad habits. Now let me give an example. Let's say you maintain what most people consider a healthy diet. You know, you eat your vegetables, you have your lean meats and all that kind of stuff, you do your exercises, and then you do that for months and months and months, maybe even years and years and years. And then one day, you decide to have a piece of cake, just one piece of cake. And then you go back to your normal, balanced, regular diet that you've been doing for the past however many months or years. You just had that one piece of cake. Now, is that one piece of cake going to kill you? Yeah, probably not. Like, I mean, unless you're allergic to cakes or something like that. But most likely, it's not going to kill you. Now, if you was to eat nothing but cakes all day, like you had a whole piece of cake for breakfast, a whole cake, not even a whole piece, like a whole cake for breakfast, a whole cake for lunch, a whole cake for dinner, and you did that every day, eating 3, maybe 4, sometimes 5 cakes in a day. You did that every day for months and months and months. You're probably going to run into some health problems. Right? Now, let's say you're somebody who eats nothing but lettuce all day. You eat nothing but lettuce for breakfast, eat nothing but lettuce for lunch, nothing but lettuce for dinner, just lettuce all day, every day. You did that for months and months and months. Is that healthy? Not likely. You know, you're going to be missing out on calcium and other essential vitamins and nutrients. So yeah, it's not the food that's bad. It's your habits around the food that's bad. Or some of you might actually have good habits. So if you've got good habits around food, this ain't for you. But if you've got bad habits around food, it's not the foods that's the problem. It's your habits that need to change. You can have a piece of cake. Maybe just don't have all the cake all the time, you know, have a balanced diet, because different foods do different things, right? Some foods are going to be, you know, high in protein and they're really good for, you know, your muscle growth, for your skin and things like that. Some foods have, you know, calcium is good for your bones. Some foods are, you know, good for your eyesight. Some foods are good for your hair. Some foods are good for your mental health. And for me, that's things like cake. That's things like kebabs. That's things like fried chicken. You might be similar, or it might be something else, but some foods are just good for your mental health. The thing is, foods that are good for your mental health typically in high amounts might not be too good for your physical health. So again, it's not that you don't ever have a cake, or you don't ever have a kebab, or you don't ever have a fried chicken, or you don't ever eat this, you don't ever eat that. If you was to follow these diets that you see on the internet, you know, all these gurus that tell you this is bad for you, that's bad for you, this is bad for you, but you wouldn't eat anything. So it's not like you never ever have it. You just adjust the amounts and frequency of what you have. So you can have a piece of cake, have some fried chicken, have some chips, have some whatever, you know, but balance it out with other things that you need. Have some fish, have some vegetables, you know, have some bread, have some eggs, milk, you know, all these things are good for you in their right amount. But if you're eating too much of something and not enough of the other thing, that's a bad habit. So it's not the food that's the problem, it's the habits around the food that's a problem. So as long as you're forming good habits around your foods, around how you exercise, being active is important. But as long as you're forming good habits around how much you eat, how frequently you eat, and the different types of things that you need, and fitting it all into your diet, you're doing all right. Ignore all of these bummy ass internet experts. You know, everybody's an expert these days. This is bad for you. Listen, you will eat nothing if you try to follow in that. Just be reasonable. All right. Just be reasonable. Anyway, peace.